My cousin used me as her emergency fund for decades, so I showed her what bankruptcy really looks like. For 8 years, Sarah called me whenever disaster struck. Car repairs, medical bills, late rent. Always urgent, always desperate. She'd sob into the phone about losing her apartment or getting fired, and I'd transfer whatever she needed within hours. She always paid me back eventually. Just took months. Last spring, she called crying about her wedding venue demanding $15,000 up front, or they'd lose their date. Mike, her fiancé, apparently couldn't help because his money was tied up in investments. I'd already lent her over $40,000 throughout the years, but she was family. When I went to help plan her wedding, I walked into her luxury apartment filled with designer furniture, closets bursting with expensive clothes. In her kitchen, I found receipts from a $3,000 weekend in Napa, shopping sprees at high-end boutiques, monthly spa treatments. The math didn't add up. I confronted her with the evidence. She broke down immediately, admitting she'd been using my emergency loans to fund her lifestyle while crying poverty. Mike thought she was financially responsible and debt-free. "Please don't tell him," she begged. "He'll leave me if he knows I've been lying." I refused the wedding loan and told her she needed to come clean to Mike. Instead, she told the family I was jealous and trying to sabotage her happiness. My parents pressured me to keep the peace and just lend the money. When Mike called asking what was happening, I showed him everything. Screenshots of Venmo requests, bank transfers, the timeline of emergencies versus luxury purchases. He was devastated to learn about years of financial lies. Sarah initially denied everything, then minimized it as a few loans. When pressed with evidence, she confessed to the scope of her deception. Mike discovered she'd maxed out credit cards and hidden debt from him. The wedding was postponed indefinitely. Mike needed time to reassess their relationship. Without access to my money, Sarah's house of cards collapsed. She couldn't afford rent, car payments, or credit card minimums. When her parents tried to help, they discovered she'd been running the same scam on grandparents, uncles, and other relatives for years. I was just her biggest mark. 3 weeks later, Sarah appeared at my door sobbing, facing eviction and car repossession. She begged for help, claiming she'd lose everything without my support. "This is what real financial consequences look like," I told her, closing the door. She had to move back home, surrender her apartment and car, and face actual budgeting for the first time in her adult life. The family finally understood the scope of her manipulation and stopped pressuring me. Mike ended the engagement after discovering additional lies about her credit score and secret loans. Sarah's now working retail while living with her parents, learning what financial responsibility actually means. I felt vindicated watching her face real consequences, though part of me was sad seeing someone I loved crash so completely. But enabling her lies hadn't helped anyone. It had only delayed the inevitable reckoning while making it worse. The family learned an expensive lesson about boundaries and enabling destructive behavior. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is let them face the natural consequences of their choices, even when it breaks your heart to watch.